particularly the ratio, is how it's everywhere. You saw it in that video how it was in nature. But just take a look at your hand. Pick a finger, maybe your pointer finger, and I want you to take a look at your fingernail length. Okay? Figure out about how long your fingernail is, and then add another fingernail. Did you reach your knuckle? Are you pretty close to reaching your knuckle?
Yeah.
You're pretty close to reaching your knuckle. So here you go. Here's Fibonacci. 1, it's 2. And then about how many fingernails is this knuckle? It's about 3. About how many fingernails is this? It's about 5. And guess what? The bone in your hand is about how many fingernails? It's then about 8. And Fibonacci is in your hands. It's in your entire body. Let's prove it, right? Do you feel a little creepy? Did anybody get the shivers? Yeah. So Fibonacci is also in your body in measurements. If I look at the ratio of my whole height, and then I divide that by the top of my head to my fingertips, I will find this number, 5. Similarly, if I take that measurement, the top of my head to my fingertips, and I divide it by the top of my head to my belly button, that ratio, also 5. So I'd like you to prove it. I'm going to ask you to work in pairs, and I'm going to ask you to record your height, the top of your head to your the top of your head to your fingertips, the top of your head to your belly button. This one sometimes students mess up. The top of your head to your armpit line, and then the top of your head to your chin. And what we're going to do is we're going to collect that data, and we're going to divide these numbers. We're going to see if that ratio really does exist inside you. You're going to use some measuring tape here. Obviously, you are larger than my measuring tape, so you might want to draw with a pencil on the wall or on a cabinet exactly what your height is, so you can use this and kind of double it up to figure it out. But I'd love you to be able to get these 5 measurements, and then we'll do some division to see if you have 5. If you're having trouble doing the measurements, I can help you do the measurements. I'm going to be collecting the data on the board, and we're going to average all of our ratios together. In the last class, we were 3/100ths off. We didn't quite average 5. Last year, we got within 1,000th of 5 in a class. Now, there's only 10 of us. It's not a great sample, but I think we can do this. So I'm going to have you guys work together. I'm going to have you two work together. Joshua, you're going to be with Milo. You two and you two. All right? You have plenty of space on the board to grab these 5 measurements. When you're done, come see me. When you're done, you guys work together. All right? There you go. Go wherever you want. Only centimeters, only centimeters. And if anybody is exactly 161 or 162 centimeters, let me know, because I will be able to predict your height to your fingertips. Make sure I would do no shoes on. I would take your shoes off. I would take your shoes off, yeah. You should start with height. You should start with height. Use the wall to help you, because that will allow you to know where top of your head is. You can use masking tape if you want. You can use the black cabinet. Milo and Josh, why don't you go over there to the black cabinet? You can use that. If you want some masking tape, you can grab some masking tape from over there. Okay. Shoes off is great.
Shoes off.
Shoes off is better, right? It's more accurate.
Okay, and you're gonna be like 100. Wow.
Let's get it sharpened.
Right. See how you're going to have to double up. If you're more than 150 centimeters, you're going to have to figure out a way to accurately measure. Right. And again, if you are exactly 162, I will be able to predict your measurement. Why don't you guys head on over there? It's like Milo's got the stuff. You're not here.
So are you exactly
How are we doing? Got it? Sometimes helpful, sometimes that's a little bit better. For height, it's a problem. One of you is probably exactly 162 centimeters.
I'm 107.
167 doesn't work. It has to be exactly 162.
What the heck? Okay.
You're 161. Let's see if we can get a better picture of the whole. Well, this is some students working. That's good enough.
Hey Marlo, wait,
Time to
you
get
have
the
the
whole
master's
class.
Got it. Oh my gosh, your voice on
Scan.
Okay.
Do a scan.
Okay. No, it's like this.
What's that?
In here.
Keep going. No, I'm a lot. Yeah, but I want you to.
17.
Got it? You have your height? Don't forget to record it. Don't forget to record height. And this. Right? Here.
I'm 167.
Did you record yours? 'Cause I'm getting. This is what I want you to be able to do. Record on.
I'm 167.
167 doesn't. I can't predict exactly if you're 167. I can only predict exactly if you're 161
You're 167?
or 162.
Yes. I'm 154.
Yeah, you're not quite there.
You're 162.
Diego, are you?
161.
161. Okay, cool. Diego's 161. Come here, Diego. We're gonna do this for the camera. Diego's 161, so I am going to prove that exactly 1 meter from here to his fingertips. Exactly, right? Exactly. Exactly, that's 5. Who else is 162? Anybody? Lena, are you close?
No, I took my shoes off.
Did you do shoes off? What are your shoes off?
163.
163, you're close, close, close. Might be one more, ready?
Yeah, don't press forward.
Fingertips down.
Oh, 155.
Pretty close. Almost exactly 100. Right, almost exactly, yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So Mr. Olsen.
Yeah. So your height to fingertips, Diego, is exactly 100. You put 100, yeah, it's exact.
What I don't look at my shoes.
Yours was 102. Yeah, yours was 102. So that might not be exactly 5, but it might be different, right? When you do your belly button, I think up for.
Now it's from head to finger.
Okay, people, you have about 5 minutes before we collect this data. Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. You're just doing 5 measurements each. Yeah. Need help? Are you recording it on the data sheet that I gave you? There's no end. Did you record? Are you recording this on the data sheet? This is what I gave you that I want you to record these values. Okay? Cool. Why don't you bring it over there since that's where you're at? Joshua.
I'm 131 centimeters.
Tall?
Where is it?
No.
From here?
Can't be. You're much taller than 131.
Here.
You're much taller than 131. Where are you?
Here are my
164 or 165? Yeah, you're 164. Yeah, 164.
about
That's correct.
91
Definitely.
and a half.
91 and a half.
Right? Yeah, you did do the addition. It's 164. So, don't forget to record. Micah and Andrea. Don't forget to record. Yeah. Got it? Are you doing the fingertips now? Here's a better way to do fingertips. Okay, top of the head. About there. You can go down. Whoop. And 3. And what, were you like 166?
I was 167.
Come on! Boom!
I got 91 and a half.
160.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
So for
How you
like
doing?
just 160 for the weird.
So do you have your measurements?
Yeah.
So for this one is A divided by B. Right? So this divided by this. And then for here, it's this divided by, wait a minute. Top of head to belly button for Diego was only 49 centimeters. Let's try that again. I think we made an error here. Go ahead. Stand. Okay? You touch your belly button. Okay, you touch your belly button. Definitely not, definitely not 49. Right? Yeah.
62, right?
Yeah, 62 sounds better. Is that what you said originally?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not 49, 62. Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, that would be a weird number. Okay, let's try. Let's see armpit line, right? So your armpit is there. What did you have it as? I got it as 34. Yeah. Even longer. And then face. Yeah, see, and notice, because you guys are almost the same height, so these numbers are now almost the same. Right? That makes more sense, right? And your face. I have your face at 20.
You've grown or I've been
I would say 23 for your face, maybe? Okay, 23 for your face. I think you might do your face imperfectly too. Right? Because what I'm doing is, I'm looking at the top of your head, not your face. Sorry. You do top of your face here? Yeah, so you're 21. Okay, you're 21. Alright, cool. So now can you do the division? Yeah, let's figure it out. Cool. Anybody need help with the measurements? Yeah, these look good. These look good. Notice, this is larger than this. Right? Wait, only 91 and a half? Let me check that. Let me check. Let me see. Can I see? Okay. Go back up. Back up. Back up. Here you go.
Right here, but then you also.
No. What do you got here? What's the test? 94. Yeah, 94. Yeah. 94. A little bit off. The 61's okay. Alright, you guys good? No? You need help? What do you need help with? Okay, let's do this. Yeah, let's get it done. Okay, so ready? It's easy. Here you go. Boom. Stand up, back there. Like that, yeah. Ready? Fingertips are at 99. That's all you have to do. Okay? Here we go. Ready? And 96. Okay? Then belly button. Touch your belly button. Ready? Let's do belly. You touch your belly button so that I'm not grabbing your belly button. Ready? Head back. Head back. About 58.
21.
Do it. Go.
Your head is larger than mine. What? Okay, ratio A to B.
That's weird.
A to B.
Let's do 9. Okay. 9 for the line. We almost done? Yep. You did the division? Okay, so if you finish, see if you can find 2 measurements in your body that also have the same ratio. See if there are any measurements that you can find, right? So the end is pick 2. Like, what do you think? It's actually in your face as well. It's in your arms. You can try your arms. See if you can do 2 measurements that work to find that ratio. Right?
That's where we would put ratio into.
And so you've done all 5? You've got 5, yeah. So divide this by this is what? You can use a calculator.
Oh.
Okay? Are we almost done? Let's do these.
No, we're only in the second one.
Okay, do you need help?
What do you mean armpit?
Let me where's your armpits?
Oh, thank you.
I didn't really like an animal.
34. Yours is? Where's your
Oh,
armpit?
I thought I made already. That's
4. Also, it's like 8. 34 and 34. We're gonna run out of time. Yeah.
Oh, HP.
And then top of head is ready?
7.
23. 23.
Where's my pocket?
And go.
You don't
Also 23. Now notice you guys are the same height, and almost all those numbers were the same. Right? Isn't that weird? You're almost the same height, and those numbers were the same. So now let's do ratio. Let's get calculators, and we'll divide this by this, this by this, and this by this.
We only record the first 3.
We're going to record the first 3 decimals, yeah?
21.
6. How close is that?
That's really
Right? That's too close. Yours is going to be a little bit less, Lily. Because for some reason it seems like you have short arms. But then you make up for it with your belly button. Yeah, it's weird.
159.
Okay, everybody, what I'm going to ask you to do is finalize your calculations of ratio. If you're already done finding phi, see if you can find that number in another body piece. What we're going to do is collect some data together, and then we'll do a quick ending assessment.
Okay. So 103 divided by 64.
Okay, Mr. Rose, do we?